Well said. Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons with a record of 13-0, and the Maryland Terrapins coming down here to Winston-Salem with a record of 14-2. The parquet floor of Joel Coliseum, Lawrence Joel Memorial Coliseum, and the opening tip controlled by the Terrapins. Man-to-man defense by Wake Forest. This is Stokes. Inside the booth, and look who's covering him. He walks. Turnover number 1 for Maryland.
Interesting matchup there. Booth is the kind of a guy that can put a lot of fouls with his ability to penetrate. But even this dead ball, even the turnover, affords Maryland a chance to set up pressure.
They pressure Rutland, absolutely no trouble there, ahead to Parole.
Wake doesn't really attack your pressure. They just walk it up and get into the half-court set. And that's crucial against Maryland. Not to take that fool's goal, that quick open junction.
How about the matchup with Stokes on Parole? The alley-oop, too long, lost out of bounds. Braswell just couldn't handle it, it was too high. He got a good pick, but couldn't make it pay.
How's that? That's a great pick by Duncan. How's that? Guard to guard alley-oop. The alley was okay, it's just the oop was a little short.
Booth. His shot short, Rutland comes up with it. Had some funny matchups in the first trip. Everything looks back normal now. Here's Booth on Duncan. And Booth comes down with it. Numbers aren't there. Maryland resets.
Braswell on Yesikavicius. Good matchup there. They're good matchups abound. That's why one's ranked 2nd, the other's 11th.
Inside the Booth again. Takes it hard, banks it in. Keith Booth with the first bucket of the game. 2-0 Maryland. 18:29 to play, first half.
They're going right at the big fella. Giving him every chance to keep his streak of block shots alive.
Yesikavicius almost had the steal.
Interesting, too, Tim, how they vary the pressure points. Not always the same. That time, Maryland backed their press up, used the midcourt line as part of the deterrent.
Each team with a turnover. Maryland with the only bucket.
Let's watch what happens now when the ball goes inside to Duncan. Does it draw a crowd or do they stay at home?
Here's Duncan, turnaround jumper. Too hard. Ahead to Akese. He's lucky to get it back. He's fouled by Jerry Braswell. Wake was down by 9 to Virginia Wednesday night. Wake's biggest deficit of the year. Inside to Prophet. Boy, he had a good look.
I'm surprised he got that one by. Duncan eyed it, but didn't swipe it.
Braswell against Yesikavicius, Parole at the top.
Booth just holding the fort on Duncan until the big guy Akese could get there.
Parole almost fired an air ball. Just ticked the rim as it went by. And Akese gets the outlet to Stokes. And they'll reset the offense.
Maryland so far using terrific judgment when not able to get the numbers going to the half court. The problem is facing Wake Forest half court defense.
Oh, what a shot by Yesikavicius.
Is a rear view mirror legal?
He didn't even look at the bucket, just felt it.
Never did.
Maryland by 4, 17 minutes to play first half. He's a talent, Yesikavicius. Yesikavicius was actually a point
on the Lithuanian junior national team. He sure was. He's a strong ball handler.
Turnover. Booth ends up with it. Here comes Prophet. Tried to give it back to Booth instead of taking it strong to the basket. And that gets Gary Williams off the bench.
Good defensive transition that time by the Deacons. Sean Allen running the floor well. Wake Forest wants to keep those red jerseys in front of them. They don't want to be parallel, and they sure don't want to be chasing them.
Good ball movement here. Frees up Rutland. His shot is short. Ahead to Stokes. 6-0 Maryland. They're out of the blocks quickly.
crowd is a bit stunned.
Duncan 0 for 2 in the first half. Here he is again, working against Akizi. He's been unable to get close to the basket. Swinging around to Jerry Braswell. His ball is tipped. Taken by Booth. It's a 3-on-1. Nice pass to Profit. And it's 8-0 Maryland. Wake Forest wants a timeout.
The Redcoats are coming. They've done everything right, have the Terrapins.
This is a 20-second timeout for Wake. Well, our call of the week is from last Saturday's Wake Forest Duke game, and it involves who else? Tim Duncan. Now take a look at this, because Ricky Peral with a shot. Duncan works for the rebound. Good positioning. Taps it once, taps it twice before he gets control. And while being triple teamed, makes the move and gets the roll for 2 of his 26 points. That's our call of the week. Duncan finished with 14 rebounds, 8 of 14 from the field. Well, Maryland out of the blocks quickly. 8-0 is their lead.
In transition, 3-on-1, handled beautifully. The ball didn't touch the floor once it got in the pay dirt.
Duncan with a nice pass to Allen, and he can't convert. Ahead goes Jesse Cavages, tries to do the alley-oop over Peral. And Profit gets it back.
Wake Forest is now getting caught up in this run and gun. Chaos is all that Maryland wants. They love the street game.
Now, I know last night at dinner you were saying Wake would never do that. They would play their own game.
The experience of Wake Forest, the back-to-back ACC champions, they don't let law and order get away from them very long.
Officials timeout. It'll be Wake Forest ball when we come back. The possession arrow in their direction. Maryland with an early lead over the Demon Deacons. Interesting timeout in that Wake Forest was out on the court almost the entire time. Dave Odom didn't have a whole lot to say to him.
Well, he just said, you can bet that's where that timeout directive was, going down inside.
They double down on Duncan. He kicks it back out to Peral, who takes it into paint. Peral shot is short. Duncan gets it back, takes it strong, and is fouled. I thought he was going to take it strong, but he put it on the floor and almost got into trouble, but he ends up getting fouled.
Dave Odom didn't have much to say. In fact, he turned his heel, walked away from him, sent him back out. Great position inside. This time, Maryland down inside, giving help. Booth temporarily, then going back to his man. This is great ball movement by Wake Forest. They just kill you softly. Even the blocks and the dunks are done, you know, with grace and poise. I mean, there's just no slam bam out there.
Tim Duncan is a 67% free throw shooter and misses both of them.
6 teams in the top 11 lost this week. If Maryland can get this game, they're clearly in the top 10.
Yes, a Cabbages for 2, and it's 10-0 Terps. Wake Forest has a bad case of the Opers. 0 for the first 6 minutes.
Yes, a Cabbages with his no-look pass. That time it burned him.
Inside to go to Allen on the baseline. Good pump fake, and the foul is on Jesse Cabbages. His first, second team foul against the Terrapins.
Wake Forest spacing not as good as it usually is. The backcourt now is down in and allowing a little help inside on the post play. Lauren Woods poised to come in for Sean Allen.
Braswell goes out. Aminette comes in.
Excuse me, Tim. Woods, who did not play in the Duke game a week ago Saturday in a surprising move, did play very well against Virginia and helped the Deacons save the bacon here the other night.
With 13:45 to go in the first half, Sean Allen puts Wake Forest on the board. This is the second one, and Duncan puts it back. So very quickly, Wake Forest gets 3. It's 10-3 Terrapins. Well, you knew we weren't going to have a shutout. Here comes Profit on the inside. His shot, soft touch over Peral.
Oh, that's a tough shot over Perrault.
Maryland 12, Wake Forest 3.
Maryland becoming very adept at reaching behind on the dribble penetration, creating lots of transition baskets. When you make the turn on them, you think you've got a clear path, but they're very good at reaching from the back and creating that loose ball.
Maryland forced Clemson into 22 turnovers Wednesday night. Here's Duncan with a nice spin move and the foul on McKeezy.
One of the problems with the Maryland strategy of isolating Duncan in there one-on-one is nobody can contain him without foul. So Elliott now coming off the bench.
We're going to get our first look at Leon Woods, the 7'1" freshman, Lauren Woods rather. Amanette almost loses it. And the turnaround by Duncan is short. Stokes. Elliott to Booth. Elliott with the shot. And Amanette comes up with it. That shot was right over the big guy, Woods.
When Wake goes to the high-low set with Woods and Duncan in the game, no one really has an answer for that.
Like that. Duncan is fouled. The bucket goes and one.
When they go to that high-low set with the two big guys, the perimeter isolated down inside, usually it's Woods inside and Duncan at the top, but there is no help from the wings. You can't come off of those great three-point shooters. And he isolates and he goes. Look at Booth coming all the way from the top, trying to make a saving play. What a warrior.
The foul was called on Rodney Elliott.
All right, Sub, he's got one shot.
The bucket counts. Matt Kavara comes in, and he is really giving Maryland some good, steady, confident minutes.
From Greensboro, you know he wants to play well down here in North Carolina.
Duncan.
Actually, Gary's got 4 straight down here on Tobacco Road.
Duncan converts the three-point play, got the crowd back in it. It's 12-6. Terrapins with the lead. 11:53 to play in the first half. Maryland by 6. We'll be back after this message.
Obviously, Maryland shooting well, and Wake Forest is not.
Wake Forest on a 6-2 run.
Wake going zone with the big lineup.
Profit moving on the big guy Woods. Cross-court pass to Stokes. And they double down on Booth and he throws it away.
I think the zone surprised him coming out of the timeout. Let's see if Maryland attacks the right side of that zone. Duncan is on that wing. That pulls Duncan to the ball. It's a tough shot over him, but it takes one of the great rebounders off the glass. Most teams have a tendency to attack from the right side. I'm surprised he's playing that wing.
Duncan takes it in strong. And I believe they're going to call offensive.
The big fella with a power dribble out of the pack. Elliott wisely does not contest at the top of the rim, but holds his ground and takes the charge. Maryland is not a shot-blocking team. They pressure, they hassle you, and then they look to take that charge.
That's the first personal against Tim Duncan.
Boy, the inside, interior passing against that front line. 6'10", 7'2", 6'10", is a very difficult challenge.
Wake Forest challenging Maryland to get some outside shooting. Instead, they go inside to Kavara.
More important than ever now with that big lineup on the floor that Maryland score and have a chance to set up their press.
Tough defense by Maryland. Crowd wanted a foul. There was none. Profit, left-handed. Wow. Profit has 6 points, and it's 16-6 Maryland with 10:34 to play first half. Wake looks a little bit out of sync. Here's Rutland. And Booth comes down with a rebound.
Maryland has created chaos. That was one of the big keys to getting started well. last year in here, Wake jumped out on Maryland 11-zip. A complete turnaround this year.
Booth. Right over top of Tim Duncan. It's 18-6, Maryland's largest lead of the game with 9:55 to play first half.
See, against the press, Duncan can never rest. If you just drop back into a half-court defense, Tim Duncan likes to rest after Wake scores. But with the pressure, they make him do everything.
How nice is that? Looked Booth square in the eyes, then took him to the basket and banked it in. He has 7 points. They don't get any better than Tim Duncan. Crawford's shot is too hard, and Elliott is charged with a push. That's his second.
But it's another chance for Maryland to set up pressure. They keep varying the pressure points. It's never been full court. 3-quarter, half, or the 1-3-1 half-court trap. Stephen Goolsby in the game. Gives Wake a little more speed. Woods is out.
Aminette, Parole, Goolsby, Duncan, and Rutland on the floor right now for the Deacons. This is Duncan, had a look, gives it up to Goolsby. This is for 3. And ahead they go to Barn, and Aminette takes it away.
Great defensive play.
And Rutland gives it right back.
Boy, they have got Wake Forest, who performs best at a Lawrence Welk tempo. They've got them really hucking and bucking out there. The pressure has worked so far.
Yes, a Cabbages for 3. 21-8, Maryland. By far the largest deficit for Wake Forest this year.
They say, okay, they defeated the pressure that time, but they did it because Duncan was all the way up as the outlet man. It's making Tim Duncan work every minute on the floor, and that may take its toll at the end of the game.
Good hands by Booth. Yes, the Cabbages gets it ahead to Booth, and it's a 2-on-1. Maryland hasn't gotten the break. They've gone back and effectively set up the offense.
That's the discipline. That's the amazing part of this young club. Normally teams that like to go fast just can't make that changeover.
Yes, the Cabbages for 3 more. Splash! 24-8 Maryland with 7:44 to go. And Wake Forest wants another timeout. Dave Odom trying to put a stop to it, but it's been all Maryland so far.
Well, what's happened with the hot shooting of Maryland early, they have been able to set up the press, and that has negated Wake Forest coming down and getting into their half-court offense. Dave Odom is saying, guys, whoa, we got a long way to go. Let's just walk the ball up against the press and get into our stuff. But they have conned Wake into taking that quick break to the basket, and they're all out of kilter.
Rutland replaces Aminette. The ball goes out of bounds, and Tim Duncan will get it back. Now's a great time to order Pizza Hut's new pepperoni pizza. Pizza Hut making it great again and again and again. 7:25 to play first half. 24-8 Maryland. This is Rutland for 3. Too hard. Good follow by Goolsby. Last touch by Rutland. It'll be Maryland ball.
Wake Forest extending the pressure a little bit. Kovarik now a safe player for Gary Williams. They're putting him in with confidence.
Inside to Akizi, and he banks it in. Obinna Akizi, perhaps the most improved player on that Maryland team. 6'10" sophomore from Nigeria, worked hard over the summer. Having a nice season, averaging double figures. Shot clock has not been a factor. This is Duncan. They double down on him, and they call the foul. Foul is going to be against Booth, but a technical against Dave Odom at the other end. So it's a bench technical. Yes, the Cabbages goes to the line. And this is the first.
He's a 76% shooter. I'm surprised he's up there. But looking at the rest of the percentages, I'm not surprised. He's a pick of the litter.
It's not a good foul shooting team,
but it's a good passing team, Tim.
Although 76%'s not bad. The foul at the other end was on Obina Kesey, not Booth. So Kesey now has 2. And the technical was a bench technical. Maryland also gets the ball because of the tee.
Nothing going right for the Deacons right now.
27-8 Maryland with 6.5 to play first half. This foul is going to be on Jerry Braswell. That's his second. Nations Bank, a corporate partner of the Atlantic Coast Conference, presents this AC Salute to Excellence question. Which ACC player was voted the nation's top defensive player by the National Association of Basketball Coaches? We'll have the answer for you coming up shortly. Profit in the paint. Can't get the roll as Duncan comes down with a rebound.
Maryland fearless. They're just taking the ball right into the paint. No respect at all for the big guys. And one of the nation's fine shot blockers.
Peral hits 2. That's his first bucket. And Wake Forest in double digits for the first time. Down by 17.
Listen to this crowd. Look at that. Maryland just dominating the lane.
Possession arrow belongs to Maryland. But you can feel things starting to change. It's like Wake Forest is starting to wake up.
I still don't like that. I think if there's a held ball, it should go to the defense. That's a great defensive play. Add that to my Christmas list for next year.
They got the opening tip. There's another jump ball.
The possession arrow is pointing toward Maryland. Dave Odom comes up and says, wait a minute, that's not right, but it's going to Maryland. Booth, no foul call.
The Terrapins 12 for 18 against a team that never permits anybody to shoot over 40%. They lead the ACC in defensive field goal percentage. And so far, Maryland ripping it to shreds.
Maryland by 17, but Wake Forest starting to come to life. This foul is called on Stokes. Nations Bank question, the salute to excellence. Nation's top defensive player was Tim Duncan, and that's not a surprise. Outstanding on both ends of the court. He deserves everything he gets. What a player.
Duncan's career high blocks, 10, came against this Maryland team here in Gold Coliseum with a triple-double. And his career high scoring, 33. Came against Maryland, but that was up at Old Fieldhouse.
Braswell makes the second one, and he is now 17 of 19 from the line this year. Booth working against Peral. Yes, and Cabbage has had a look. Kicks it back out to Profit. This is for 3. This foul is against Booth. His second.
Everybody but Profit, very patient. Oh yeah. the senior from Spain got some pain in the lane. Booth said, I can't get around you. I'm going through you.
Valladolid, Spain. It's 1-1 now. 17 fouls. That's the second on Booth. And he makes the first one. 27-12 Maryland.
With the great inside game the Deacons have, they're one of those teams that shoot more, that made more free throws than their opponents shoot by a wide margin.
Got it.
And Peral makes them both. Nice player, gives Wake excellent size and athleticism at the wing forward. Gets it back, here's Rutland.
They say teams that press don't like to be pressed. Dave Odom trying that action out with a full court trap, and they got the turnover. Well, this offensive, Tim. And these are nice people here. They're normally very gentle. Great trap. Peral's long arm creating the deflection. Completely surprised by that trap was Maryland. Here again, Maryland not trying to block the shot, but draw the charge. Smart team.
Elliott takes the charge. Maryland gets it back. You can feel the momentum changing. The crowd's back in it. Cabbages into paint. Pump fake, whistle, and he's fouled.
Tie game 17 at the half in Raleigh. They're tenacious. They just seem to run out of gas at the end. But help's coming. Sendak with a terrific recruiting year in the wings.
So Runa Cabbages pushes Maryland's lead to 29-13. Inside they go to the big guy Duncan. Back to Perrault. Shot clock not a factor. And this is nice from Rutland for three. His first bucket and the first three for Wake Forest.
It looked like Maryland forgot the game plan. They came off of Rutland, and if you're going to come off with anybody on that perimeter, it's not Tony Rutland.
Booth calling for it down low against Duncan. Instead, they go the other side. Cabbages into paint. To Elliott, and he throws it away.
Prophet didn't rotate. He just stood and looked. When that ball's on the baseline, you got to rotate to create a passing lane.
8 Maryland turnovers now. But Wake Forest still unable to convert. Booth called for the walk. Boy, take another look at that one. He looked like he was pushed from behind. 29-16 Maryland, but Wake Forest has been on an 8-2 run since the technical against the Wake Forest bench.
That just having an adventure with that ball against the double teams.
Perrault gets an open shot, can't get it to go down, and Stokes with a rebound. Maryland again starts to run. Elliott had a look, didn't take it.
Small team on the floor right now for Maryland with the Kesey out of there. Good quickness, but small.
It's been an 8-2 run for Wake Forest. Cabbages with a crossover move. And the foul by Aminette on the push.
Tim, he's so strong with the ball. Cabbages, we talked about the fact he's a point guard with his national team in Lithuania, but he's so strong with the ball. The crossover dribble, and he's just punishing those smaller guards.
The announcers for this game selected and compensated by Raycom and Jefferson Pilot Sports. Any use of this broadcast without their express permission is prohibited. Cabbages misses again. He missed one during the technical, and he misses here. 76% free throw shooter. He's now hit 29 of his 38 attempts. Makes the second one, and he has 14 points for the game. Maryland 30, Wake Forest 16. 3 minutes to play in the first half. Tim Branton, Bucky Waters with you. Lawrence Joel, veteran Memorial Coliseum. This foul is on Watkins, who just checked into the ball game.
Watkins has got to make, he's got 5 fouls. Well, the net now is 4. He's got to be more physical. They've got some fouls to burn with him. They're not counting on him offensively, but he's got to be more assertive. The transfer from Notre Dame just walked in the game. Next thing he knows, he's locked with this guy, a great player, and they go right to him. Wake is so smart that way. I mean, they spot a guy like that coming in the game, Brian Watkins, who hasn't had many minutes, and just coming out of a redshirt year, they'll go right to you. Very smart team.
Woods, the 7'1" freshman from St. Louis, comes in. McDonald's High School All-Star, and he replaces Perrault.
Real mismatch now with Kesey and Booth on the bench, and Wake with the 2 7-footers. It's really a time when Maryland could and should be pressing more with their quickness. They don't want to look at half court with those 2 big guys.
Duncan now with 9 points, the lead down to 12. Cabbages fires. And this foul is against Watkins, his second in a matter of 10 seconds.
A basketball school.
Bucky, Tim Duncan's really starting to change this ball game. Maryland had a 17-point lead. He's gone on a tear here. Its biggest lead was 27-8 Maryland, 19 points. And since then, Wake has played well.
Well, Maryland's a team of spurts, relying on their pressure defenses and the chaos created by them. Maryland is more of a methodical team. They've only been behind twice at the half as Wake Forest this year. They've come back both times to win.
Well, Wake Forest now on a 12-3 run, and most of that has been Duncan. Here comes Rutland. Yes, the Cabbage is at the other end. And Duncan throws it into the first row. Yes, the Cabbage just gets up smiling.
Watch this. Watch this. The big fella's trucking. Return the sender. Not now. Not here. Maybe not ever. Yes, the Cabbage is
coming out. Thought he was going to take your mic.
I brought the guy behind us right between us.
That's what I mean. I thought he was going to take your microphone. We're coming out of the stands here at Joel Coliseum.
I want to know if that guy's had all his shots. I mean, he's pretty frisky.
Rutland. Shot won't go down. It's a 10-point lead with 1:45 to play in the first half. First time I've ever seen that. They're coming out of the stands.
He wanted to get to you, but he figured, you know, I'm skinnier. He'll try me.
Good crowd here today. Sellout crowd, loud, very much into the game. Maryland turns it over. That's turnover number 11 for Maryland.
It's been defense dictating this entire first half. First it was Maryland, great defense, and they got transition going, really upset the Deacons. But since that technical foul on Dave Odom, the defense has been definitely Wake Forest. They've applied the pressure. They've created the turnovers and even some transition.
Kavara comes back into the ballgame. He replaces Profit. You saw the 3-point differential.
The Deacons trying to make this comeback without their patented three-point shooting. That part of the Maryland game plan holding up to deny the perimeter, make the inside guys beat them.
Kavara had a look. Didn't take it. Outside to Yessi Cabbages. To Booth. He's going up with the big guys. And Perrault loses it out of bounds.
I think the shot clock,
it's not working. It stayed on 35. Shot clock is not working.
Keith Booth, great moves inside. Takes on the huge front line. Somehow manages to keep the ball in play. The shot clock definitely not working.
And it was the crowd that brought it to the attention of the officials. Dick Paparo, Carl Hess, and Duke Etzel are your officiating crew today.
The game clock is working. The shot clock is not. Now, if that first technical was on Odom, he has to be very careful. If he loses his cool, leaves the box again, he's gone.
Now the shot clock goes. 25 on the shot clock. 41 on the game clock.
Deacons in his zone.
Plenty on the shot clock. Maryland in no rush, trying to melt it a little bit. Elliott shoots and hits.
Kavara, the dribble penetration right into the teeth of the zone, but he was under control. Picked up the dribble, drew a crowd, found Elliott. Good move.
Rutland called for one shot. Shot clock is off. Outside to Aminette, down to 5 seconds. Inside to Woods. And Elliott comes down with it. Well, surprise, surprise. Maryland with an outstanding first half, although Wake Forest made a charge. Wake Forest has fallen behind and has had its largest deficit of the year. They were down by 19, still down by 12. They start the second half with the ball. Tim Duncan's had the hot hand here as Wake went on a good run to bring it back to 12 at the end of the first half. But here's Profit, tries to take it away. Rutland gets it safely to Perrault, and now the the shot clock down to 20.
Indicative stat in that first half. Duncan 3 for 6 from the floor. The rest of Wake Forest 2 for 17.
Jared Braswell takes it in and scores.
Braswell coming down on a one-man press on Terrell Stokes. Not to steal, but to slow the Terrapins down.
Obina Kesey left alone out by the arc. Here's Booth working on Duncan. Has it blocked and lost out of bounds.
Maryland has 4 players with 2 personal fouls. Jerry Braswell has 3. The only player on the floor for both teams in serious trouble at this juncture.
10-point game. Duncan tries to make it single digits and does. He has 13 points.
Somehow that doesn't displease Gary Williams. Wake is taking the first quick shot.
I don't think anybody's surprised by this either. Everybody anticipating Wake Forest coming back and making this a ball game. Prophet off balance. Can't get it to go down. Big rebound by Duncan. Allen, other end. Yes! Gary Williams wants a 20-second timeout.
Dave Odom's answer to pressure is press. And he's come down the floor and really opened this game up more than anything else. He's got Wake Forest off their heels and on their toes.
Stokes has it blocked by Perot. Braswell. Still alive. Saved by the Deeks. In the first half, Wake Forest had no points in the first 6:15 of the game. Second half, Wake Forest 6 points in the first minute and a half. 32-26 Maryland. 17 and a half to play.
Deacons getting back better. Also, the pressure defense just picks you up. There's no place to hide.
McKeesey on the baseline. And he's fouled by Perot. One of the biggest differences this year in Obina Kesey's that first step, the drop step. Reverse and strong to the hoop.
No question he's stronger. He lost weight. For every pound he lost, it looks like he put it into a bench press. I mean, he is definitely stronger and quicker. And everybody's saying, well, he's found hands. But I think a lot of that is strength and confidence, and it shows in your hands. He's just a more relaxed player now.
Take a look at Rusty LaRue, one of the best three-point shooters they've had around Winston-Salem in a while.
Boy, the Deacons went 1 for 8 in the first half. I'm sure Dave's glancing over there, trying to figure out how he can get him out here.
Talking with Rusty before the ball game. He tried basketball in Europe. Wasn't a comfortable fit. Tried the CBA. He's waiting for a call now. Fine young man.
Some basketball team, someplace, can find a spot for a guy that can shoot like that.
32-26. Terrapins holding on. Duncan bringing the Deeks back. Braswell for 3. Correction, that's Goolsby.
Maryland not scoring, not able to set up their press.
Booth, too hard. Braswell knocks it out of bounds. It's a 3-point game. Maryland at one point had a 19-point lead, but Dave Odom never lost his composure, and Wake is back.
Keep in mind now the pressure, just the motion in this game, and the fact that Duncan has had to do everything.
Yes, Cava just throws an air ball, and Booth commits a foul. That's 3 on Keith Booth.
Gary Williams wanting the full court pressure, wanting to try to take control of the tempo again.
Pretty good run. 9-0. Yes, Cava just to profit on the turnover, and he can't convert.
That was definitely an altered shot, if not a block shot.
Goolsby again.
Yeah, but this is Maryland's game right here.
Yes, Cavages can't find the range. Boy, how things have changed. Inside to Duncan. How do you stop him? You don't. And one.
Perall with the pass inside. The big fella. He's got a Kesey in foul trouble. Just muscles his way back up and in. No change of expression. Just kills you softly.
Tim Duncan now with 15 points.
Does he have a block shot? He has one in every game he's played. He's got 3 today.
We're tied for the first time this afternoon. Wake Forest has eaten up Maryland's 19-point lead.
They're doing it with defense, not three-point shooting. They're doing it with defense.
Kesey walks.
In the first half, Maryland was 4 for 7 in transition and 10 for 21 in the half-court offense. They completely dominated the Wake defense. So far this half, a complete reversal.
Look at this. Maryland now has the offers. Braswell blocked by Kesey. Stokes was yelling for the outlet pass. Got it too late. Tried to get it over Perall. Dangerous pass. 13 turnovers for the Terrapins.
The Lithuanian underestimated the sleeve length of the Spaniard. Turnover.
Jump hook by Duncan. Unstoppable. We'll be back.
Look at the change here in the shooting. Maryland, nothing going in the second half, and the Deacons are red hot. The Deacons are getting 8 points in the paint, 5 in the perimeter. The balance is there.
Prophet tries to put it back, and Duncan gives it back to him. No foul call.
Return to sender.
Wake Forest on a tear. 45 blocks in his career for Tim Duncan. Inside of Perall. Yes! 36-32 Wake Forest. Perall with 6 points.
That high-low dump down, whether it's Lauren Woods or Perall or Duncan involved, those 3 guys in the high-low situation, it's a dimension nobody in the ACC has the answer to.
Maryland 0 for 9 this half. Kesey gets the rebound. They look for the outlet. Terrapins trying to run. Prophet banks it in. Breaks the ice.
Whoa, long drought. Almost 6 minutes.
Wake Forest is so good, so dangerous. No lead is big enough. Rutland. In and out. Perall with the rebound. Terrapins running again. Stokes. We're tied at 36.
Maryland not coming down the floor, even though they're scoring. That's a surprise. Gary Williams over there just going beside himself, trying to get some life back in his defense.
13 minutes to play. Easy bucket for Perall.
There is no pressure anywhere this half for the guys in red. The perimeter people are just basically selecting the time and speed of their direct pass down to the low post.
Maryland looks tired.
They do. There's just no zip out there.
Kesey misses the dunk. Last touch by Wake Forest.
Wow. That's the strongest play by the Terps this half. Kesey with a power move. And the Nigerian catches the back of the rim and puts it in the nickel seats.
Reset to 35 to Prophet. Jump stop. And another rebound for Duncan. That's 8 rebounds for the big guy.
Keep in mind, Duncan likes to rest when the Deacons score.
Alley-oop to Duncan. Stokes ends up with it.
And with this pressure by Maryland, he hasn't had those opportunities.
Yesikavicius with 14 in the first half has yet to score this half. Gary Williams wanted a foul call, still none. He's beside himself.
Gary Williams out of the coaching box. Duke Edsel listening, but not looking at his tormentor. They are letting him play inside, which is all right as long as they're consistent.
12:20 to play in the game. Wake Forest with the ball and leading by 2. Look at the points in the paint. What a difference.
A complete reversal.
Offensive on Goolsby. Reached around.
I think he called it on Pearl.
Oh, did they?
Pick, yeah. Goolsby created it because he didn't wait until the pick was set.
I thought they called him for the left hand. So the Terrapins down by 2.
Only 2 overall.
Jessica just tries to get a pick. Stokes left alone from outside, and he hits the 3.
Oh, the perfect point guard. Seldom shoots. Oh, great. Oh, there's one.
Foul is called on Perot.
C.C. Harrison having a big year for Sendak and the Wolfpack, who again just having trouble in those close games at the end. A little bit undermanned, but the effort is there. And Trajan Langdon sat out last year, and Mike Krzyzewski glad to have him back.
The Keys, he tries to get the rebound, ball's loose, and Elliott comes up with it. Booth keeps banging on the boards, taking it into the big guy, looking for a foul. He's getting none, and he's getting no sympathy. Oh, how about Goolsby?
Goolsby's been a giant off the bench for the Deacons.
Maryland by 1, 11:08 to play. Duncan. And a foul.
What's happening this half that didn't happen in the first half? This means the Maryland team on the floor is small and should make them a little better pressing team, but they haven't been able to get into it because they haven't scored.
Bucky, there is absolutely no weakness to his game, and the scary part is he continues to improve.
But when he goes out and shoots jump shots, the coaches in the ACC will say, well, that's great. There's another dimension, but I'd rather have him out there than I would in the paint.
Booth just 2 for 13. 0-8 this half. Here he is again. And he finally is fouled. And they say no, he's using his left arm. It's the Demon Deacons by 1.
Booth is determined to take that ball inside.
Duncan picks up his second. Booth goes to the line. Kansas still unbeaten. Wake Forest still unbeaten. Kansas beat UConn earlier today.
There was a bit of jeopardy for Kansas in that game at Connecticut. The 2 of Connecticut's key players were ruled ineligible for the game for some infraction with the NCAA. It was a 1-game suspension. So the great opportunity that Calhoun and Connecticut had for the big upset was certainly diluted, but they still came very close.
And Booth makes them both.
Here comes the full court press now.
Maryland jumps back up by 1. Maryland's small team goes back to the press. Wake has an easy time with it. Braswell. The putback. And the Terps lose it out of bounds.
Wake Forest normally doesn't attack your pressure, so there's really no gamble in pressing. They normally try to get the ball from one circle to the middle circle and go into their offense. But this second half, based on the momentum, Dave Odom has them going to the basket.
Rutland off the iron. This foul is going to be called on Sean Allen. That's his first. Coming over the back of Keith Booth. 10.5 minutes to play. Terrapins by 1. Inside the Booth. Drops it off to Elliott, and he's fouled.
Keith Booth is a handful in that lane. You know, he's just gotten better and better. The analogy with Keith Booth and Todd Fuller of NC State, guys who had good junior years. Todd Fuller probably could have gone on to the next level. Maybe Booth as well, but Jessica just back in the game. But he stayed that 4th year and has really improved himself, and he certainly made Maryland A great surprise this season.
Elliott misses, and Maryland is not a good free throw shooting team. And Gary Williams is the first to tell you they're not, and that becomes very exposed in ACC play. Maryland today just 6 of 11. They were 50% against Clemson Wednesday night at Cole Fieldhouse.
It cost them dearly. 9 for 18 from the line. Just really did him in. That and 2 for 14 from 3.
Yes, the Cabbage is in the ballgame, as you mentioned, for Stokes. Good catch by Parole. All right, Maryland by 2, 10-15 to play in the ballgame. If you're just joining us, Maryland's biggest lead was 19. But in the second half, it's been Wake Forest. This foul on Elliott working against the big guy. That's the third on Elliott. Anytime you go up against Tim Duncan, you're going to pick up the personals.
There's that high-low with good shooters on the wings. There's no help. But there again, the spacing. The wings that time for Wake Forest were in too tight, taking away that good isolation.
Braswell. Tabarek ends up with it.
Boy, Duncan expanding an awful lot of energy over the course of this game.
You know, he keeps the ball alive so well. He'll tip it once, twice, and a lot of times gets it back. Booth wants to take him to the hoop. Does. Still no foul call.
Well, they may try something else. That's not working. The big eraser's back there. Come on.
Down to Duncan. See ya.
Again, the entry pass, a piece of cake.
Once it gets low to Duncan one-on-one, it's all bottoms.
Hey, guys. It's not working.
9 blocks for Duncan. Tied at 42.
His record 10 career-wise was against same Maryland team. So that he's doing that shouldn't come as a surprise.
Yes, the Cabbages. Nice pass to Elliott.
Duncan running the floor is visibly tired.
And a smart play by Duncan, not trying to get the block there when he went up for the dunk and pick up the cheap foul. He is tired. Maryland leads by 2. 8.5 to play.
Deacons have committed 6 fouls with 8:30 to go. Maryland has committed only 4. Isn't that ironic?
Parole with the jumper. Ball's loose again. Crawford ends up with it. And this foul is going to be on Rutland.
A good foul.
Tim Duncan couldn't get it that time. He is really sucking wind.
All the pressure Maryland has put on the Deacons all day long, making Duncan take the ball out of bounds, be the outlet against the press, and then be the trigger man at the end of the press. All of that, plus as usual, rebounding and shot blocking have taken its toll. I've never seen him quite that tired.
Timmy's shaking his head a little bit. Joel hanging like a fighter.
His next reject will tie his career blocked shot record. He really, I guess, red turns him on.
Meanwhile, Moran Prophet trying to extend Maryland's 2-point lead. Tip back to Elliott. Again, Maryland struggling at the free throw line. Elliott has it knocked away. Good hands by Parole, but he can't get to it before it hits the line.
Maryland keeps going at the strength. Parole and Duncan defensively. They really need to think about who's taking the shots and where they're attacking the Wake defense. That's just simply not working.
Tabarek has it taken away. Rutland for 3. And this foul's going to be on Duncan. That's a third on Duncan. Now you say Maryland keeps taking it to Duncan, it's not working, maybe they ought to try something else, but I wonder if it is working in trying to cause fatigue.
Well, now that he has 3, it's probably a good idea with 3 fouls and tired to take a Booth and go at him. But up until now, it's been reject city. Look at Booth, so smart, getting the good position. Disbelief by Tim Duncan, but I think that was a bit of, he's normally smarter than to reach over when he doesn't have good position. I think you can chalk that up to a little bit to fatigue.
Duncan with 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 blocks. And Booth at the line with 7.
For veteran ACC watchers, Keith Booth reminds me of Buck Williams, that same kind of leadership that he gives you in the front court. A tireless worker.
He now has 8 points, 10 rebounds on the game, and it's 45-42 Maryland with 7:51 to play. We'll be back after this message from Budweiser. Wake Forest trying to match its best start in 70 years. That would be 14 wins in a row. But right now, down by 4 to Maryland with 7.5 to play. Maryland causes another turnover. Stokes loses the handle and wisely pulls it back out.
Wake going to the high-low, but spacing not good. Maryland forcing the post man up too high. Great defense.
Called the foul on Rodney Elliott, away from the ball.
That's your only goal of the year.
That's 4 on Elliott.
For Maryland, Akese and Elliott both have 4. Booth has 3. For the Deacons, Duncan with 3, Braswell 3, and Peral 3.
It's been a physical game. Akese's ready to check back in with 4.
Well, you got to put the big guys in the game now. With 2 or 3 minutes to go, the game belongs to the little people.
Gavar gets the ball back. Time now a factor with 6:45 to play, and Maryland leading by 4.
Deacons now extending their man-for-man a little bit.
Nice pass to Gavar, and he can't convert.
Great pass. Just another dimension of Booth.
Maryland still playing man-to-man. Peral. Brick. I mean, that really hit hard. Stokes takes it himself and has it blocked. Braswell didn't want to take it up against Booth, so he brings it back out.
You look to see where Duncan is, you go by him and you say, ha, there's your shot blocker. And then you get close to the rim and there's Peral, who's got a handful today.
Rutland again is off. This foul will be on Goolsby. Interesting game. Wake has won 35 of its last 42 ACC games. Here comes Obina Akese. He has 4 personals. Prophet also comes back into the ball game. That's what you were just talking about, Bucky.
Well, look for more penetrations now. I mean, everybody in that post area knows the guy guarding's got 3 or 4, so you can be a lot more brazen with your moves to the hoop, even against the shot blockers.
Yesicavage's first point this half.
They have 14 in the first half. Just part of the absolute differences in the 2 halves by both teams today.
Terrapins now 11 of 17 from the charity stripe.
Now, here's Duncan taking the ball out.
Maryland leads by 6 and gets another turnover. 5.5 to play.
One more foul is 10 for the Deacons, so they have to be very careful. Maryland has committed only 5.
Yesicavage's nice fake, drove the lane, tried to get it back to Booth. Billy Hahn telling him to go ahead and finish. Take the shot. Sean Allen comes back in for Goolsby for Wake Forest.
Gary Williams bumped into Gary Hahn. He was surprised that there was a body. They told him down and said, I don't want any block charges with you. Go down.
This foul on Allen. That's 3 on Allen. Well, Billy Hahn told him last time to go ahead and finish and take the shot. That time he went in with all intentions to shoot.
Well, again now, the front line of Wake Forest with their foul problems the shot blocking potential just won't be there.
There's a look at Billy Hahn. Has his son Matt on the team this year. Matt Hahn, fine high school basketball player, was invited to walk on. And Yesikavich just goes in and out.
That's young Matt Hahn.
No, that's not Matt.
It's not?
No, Matt's down near the end of the bench. Matt used to be a ball boy when he was a little boy up in Maryland.
Full pressure now by the Terrapins. Duncan no longer taking the ball out, but he's the key outlet man in the middle.
This foul called on Stokes.
Oh, boy.
You know, it's fun just to watch the reaction of players.
Gary Williams pointing to his head. Duncan had turned his back, was merely trying to throw the ball into the backcourt. And that was the 6th foul on the Terrapins.
5:11 to play. Perall with an easy bank in. Good positioning down low.
Braswell with a good entry. Good entry pass.
49-44 Maryland. Crowd on its feet. Under 5 minutes to play. Booth working against Duncan. Shot clock is at 12.
Great save by Prophet.
Down to 7 on the shot clock. Stokes off balance. He walked.
Not a bad move, though. Terrell Stokes, a terrific one-on-one player. When you get close to that shot clock violation, to open the top of the key up a little bit and let him work. But he did walk.
Bucky, that's 17 turnovers for the Maryland Terrapins.
That free throw shooting, eating away at that lead.
Maryland got out to a 10-0 start in the game, built the lead to 19. Wake Forest came out in the second half, took the lead away, and actually took a 4-point lead. Here's Braswell in the paint. Right now, it's 49-44 Maryland.
Deacons got to go to Duncan. They've forgotten about him.
Does Maryland melt the clock, or do they keep attacking, Bucky?
No, they got to attack.
Prophet is short with a jump hook.
Maryland's not a good team in neutral or going east and west. They're spurty. You know, they'll have 8 scored against them, and they'll score 10. I just don't believe they can be a finesse team, especially the way they shoot free throws, which is poorly.
Yesikavich is laughing, saying that was 5, trying to officiate the game. Here's Duncan with a nice crossover. And then it goes back to Wake Forest. Well, the situation is this as the timeout is called. 3:20 left in the game. Maryland clinging to a 49-44 lead. Maryland really struggling in the second half from the field. They were red hot in the first half and built a 19-point lead. This goes off Rutland. It'll be Maryland ball.
Coming out of the timeout, I know, in my heart, I know that Dave Odom wanted that ball to go inside to Duncan because they've just forgotten about him, and they get a turnover without a shot.
Bucky, that's 17 turnovers for Wake Forest. Maryland has 17 as well. We're about to go under 3 minutes.
The irony of that stat, with Rutland not shooting well, the last 4 games, he shot 50% in the second half.
Tried to get the ball in the booth. Duncan forced it loose.
Both teams are getting tentative now.
Here's Perall. Kicks it back out to Duncan. Duncan left alone beyond the arc. Oh, Prophet with a big rebound. Duncan just 2 for 10 from 3-point range this year. And Duncan loses it out of bounds.
Yesikavich is determined to take that ball to the basket.
Obina Kesey yelled at him for it, and Gary Williams said, we're fine, play smart. Yesikavich is left alone. Yes, for 2.
That's the shot. I think Gary Williams would like to see a few more ticks go off the clock before the Terrapins take that shot, but that's the shot that's open.
Approaching the 2-minute mark. Braswell for three. Wake Forest just 2 of 18 from three-point range. And Maryland will go back to the line. That's what I was just talking about. Look at Wake Forest.
Wake Forest, always the balanced team. They're getting it from their big guys, but the perimeter has just not produced. The Maryland defense trying to stay at home with the perimeter has paid dividends, and this guy is the consummate warrior.
Foul was on Braswell, Jerry Braswell. That's his 4th. Booth cannot get it to go down. Keith Booth, the senior from Baltimore, Maryland, 70% free throw shooter. Misses them both. Under 2 minutes to play. Yes, and Cabbages knocks it out of bounds. (51-44) Maryland. Wake Forest wants a 22nd timeout. Inside they go to Tim Duncan. Maryland leading 51-44. Braswell for three. Braswell now has 6 points. And Wake Forest takes a 22nd timeout. Maryland has 1 full timeout left in 1:20. Wake Forest with just 1:20 remaining. Booth brings it across the timeline. Maryland now sets its offense. Huge possession for the Terrapins.
Remember, Maryland, 62% free throw shooting team, and it cost them against Clemson in College Park earlier this week.
It's cost them in this game.
Yes.
Shot clock down to 11. Stokes walks.
That's the point we made earlier. Maryland is not a good finesse team at this point. They really are best in one mode, attack.
51-47 Maryland. As we approach the 1 minute mark. Trying to get it down to Duncan. Here he is. Butter. So strong inside.
They left Akizi one-on-one, and that time the Deacons capitalized.
2-point Maryland lead with 50 seconds left. And the senior with the ball. On the shot clock. 7 on the shot clock. Not the shot Maryland wanted. Under 30 seconds to play. Wake trailing by 2. Duncan fouled by Akizi. Absolutely nothing to it. We're tied at 51.
I look for the Terrapins to go to Booth to create.
Shot clock is off. Down to 6 seconds. Booth with the ball. Baseline. Booth. Profit. It's going to be goals. Maryland